Welcome everyone to today's Uplift yoga practice. Today's practice is in honor of what is here a bright, sunshiny spring day, resilience and flexibility practice. So we are going to hopefully get you a little bit energized and then close with a meditation practice where we'll be focusing on energizing the body. So get yourself into a comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. And just bring awareness to the crown of your head. Notice any physical sensations present in your scalp, your face, your whole head. Anywhere you notice sensation, just become aware of it. And bring awareness to your neck, your shoulders, your torso, your arms, and just taking inventory of how the physical body is feeling today. Maybe you feel the weight of the body resting on the earth. Maybe you feel that grounding and rooting sensation down through the sits bones. And you feel the length of the spine and the reach of the crown up toward the sky. Just checking in with the physical body and acknowledging any places that might need extra care or attention today. Resolving to take care of your physical body as you move through your practice by modifying, adjusting, or using props as needed. And then bring awareness to your mood or emotional level. Notice if there are any feelings bubbling up, anything that wants to be acknowledged. Just observing the emotional state at this moment. And bring awareness to the thoughts, the thinking level. Notice where the mind has been today. Notice if the thoughts have been discursive, recursive, ruminating on the past, projecting into the future. Just observing the mental state right now as it is. And then bring awareness to your energetic state. Noticing, do you feel lethargic, agitated, calm? Whatever the energetic state is, just observing. And you might notice this through the breath. Is the breath short, long, rough, smooth, deep, shallow? Just observing without judgment, checking in with yourself, taking stock. Now bringing awareness back to the physical body and feel that connection of earth to sky all the way through your spine. And we'll just start by dropping the chin down to the chest, exhaling here out the nose. Inhale, lift the head. And exhale, drop the chin. Feeling that length, that dignified posture, the head in line with the rest of the spine as you inhale, tilt up, and exhale, tilt down. Coming into that Ujjayi pranayama, that little whisper sound in the back of the throat with every inhale and every exhale. Maybe 4 or 5 count inhale, 4 or 5 count exhale. Coming into your own wheel of breath, your own rhythm of breath. And as we start to move the head, we might even bring in a mantra if we want. Today's mantra that I'm going to invite in is just a seed syllable, Ram, R-A-M, Ram. And maybe you feel it or imagine it in the solar plexus as you inhale and exhale. Maybe thinking, feeling that yellow light at the solar plexus, Ram. Couple more head tilts up and down. And then we'll come back to a stillness with the head and just take a moment to think about what it is you are cultivating in your life, what it is you are inviting in, you are planting the seeds of. Couple more breaths here and we'll move into our movement practice. So setting your intention, whatever you are cultivating, and we'll come over onto our mat, all fours, tabletop. Thumbs point toward each other, middle fingers point toward the front of your mat. Lengthen through the spine, spread the collarbones, gaze straight ahead. As you exhale, drop back, hips to heels, chest to thighs, forehead down. Inhale, reverse it, sliding forward, 4 or 5 count inhale, 4 or 5 count exhale. Flowing with your breath. Maybe repeating the mantra Ram on every exhale, or maybe you have your own mantra that you're working with, or an intention that you want to remind yourself of as you're flowing through. Just a couple more breaths like this. And then after your next inhale, we'll stay up in that tabletop and reach the right arm out in line with the head and neck and the left leg back, pressing into that heel. You can roll the wrist and ankle a little bit, finding some movement here, and then stillness, reaching through fingertips and heel, back of the neck long, gazing down. Navel moves in with every exhale, helping the breath out. Inhale, expansive breath. Exhale, emptying all the way out. A couple more breaths like this. Feeling that reach through the hand and the heel. Feel steadiness and ease in the physical body. One more breath. And then we'll exhale and bring elbow and knee toward each other. And inhale, extend out again. You can look up on the inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. And 2 more breaths like that. And then back to where we started here in this extension. Couple breaths. Release the hand, release the knee. Back to Apanasana. Lengthen the spine, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, drop back, hips to heels, chest to thighs, forehead down. 2 more breaths like this. And then the next time you come up, we'll do that same thing on the other side. So once you come up to your tabletop, right leg back, left arm forward, roll out wrist and ankle. And then finding steadiness and ease here, back of the neck long, reaching through heel, through fingertips, even breath. Two more breaths like this. And then on an exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend out, look up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale out. And 3 more breaths like that. Until we finally meet back with arm and leg extended for a couple breaths. And then release the hand, release the knee. Again, lengthen, spread the collarbones, gaze straight ahead, and exhale back, hips to heels, chest to thighs, forehead down. And take a moment here to just notice the energetic state of the body, noticing how we're waking up the muscles, the breath, the physical body. And then we'll shift into downward facing dog. So curl the toes, press back. Just a breath or so here. And then walk the feet up to forward fold. So from forward fold, we're going to grab opposite elbows, bring the feet about hip width apart, lift the toes, spread them wide, release them back down, lift the arches, Maybe a little bend in the knees here, just letting the torso hang and release. If you want, you can sway a little. Stay with that even breath though. Reconnecting there to your wheel of breath. And then we'll start to flow through our sun salutation. So on the inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One breath here. Feel that grounding and rooting around the outside edges of the feet, lifting the arches. Exhale, drop the chin. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, forward fold, maybe a little bend in the knees. Half lift, inhale, hands to shins. And exhale, plant hands and step back to plank. You can either do this from toes or from knees. One breath here. Exhale, lower down either halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale, look up at the hands. Exhale, step the feet up, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. Exhale, hands at heart. One breath here. Drop the chin, exhale. Inhale, arms sweep up, and we'll flow through that again. Slowly moving through our vinyasa. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant hands, step back to plank. Toes or knees. One breath here. Exhale, lower down, all the way or halfway. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. One breath here. Look up at the hands, step the feet back up, forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One breath here. Exhale, drop chin. Inhale, sweep arms up. One more time. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Plant hands, step to plank. Taking whatever modifications you like in this Sun A. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Now we're going to stay here in our downward facing dog for just a few breaths. So adjust yourself as needed. Sometimes it feels good to make the dog a little bit longer. So maybe walking the feet back a little. And feeling that length in the spine, reaching the tail up, keeping the space between the shoulder blades. Feeling strength in the legs, strength in the arms, even breath. And now from here, we're going to drop down to elbows. So staying in that posture, but this dolphin dog with forearms down. Just a few breaths here. Keep reaching that tail up and pressing into the forearms. Couple more breaths. And now we'll drop to knees. And then stack your arms and bring the forehead down onto the arms. So the hips are over the knees and the forehead is down on stacked arms. Feeling that smooth wheel of breath. Couple more breaths there. And then we'll move back to downward facing dog. And then step your right foot up to the hands. Plant that left foot and we'll come up into our warrior two. So heel to arch. Arms out. I like to do warrior two with palms up. I think it opens up the front of the chest a little better. So dropping down into that right knee, reaching through fingertips, torso straight up and down, maybe looking over that right hand. And with every exhale, feeling the navel moving in, expansive inhale. And we're going to flow in and out of reverse warrior. So on your inhale, right arm comes up, left arm comes down. Exhale, we'll come back to that warrior two. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And two more like that. Taking a break if you need to. And then we'll meet back in that warrior two. And I like to use a block for my extended side angle, putting it on the inside of that right foot. You can take your extended side angle with elbow on the knee or hand to block or hand to floor. So we're going to drop down into our extended side angle. Left arm can either be straight up or reaching overhead. Spiral the chest open. Maybe looking up if that feels okay on the neck, or just keeping the head neutral. Even breath here. Couple more breaths. And then we'll come back up. Warrior two. Straighten that leg and we'll just switch sides. So turn that right foot in, left foot out. And I'm just going to place my block there so it's ready. So coming into the warrior two on this side. First finding steadiness and ease in warrior two, looking over that left hand. When you're ready, inhale into reverse. Exhale back to warrior two. And flow with the breath. All right, one more. Meeting back in this warrior two, and then moving into the extended side angle on this side. Taking whatever modifications or versions you like for this. Keep rooting down into the outside edge of that right foot. Spiral the chest open, even breath. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll come back up, straighten the leg, and we'll come back to the front of the mat. Feet about hip width apart. And actually, if you have your block still, you can place that between the knees. We're coming down into Utkatasana, and the block is kind of handy for Utkatasana because it kind of reminds your legs to stay active, and it keeps them a nice distance apart. So we drop the hips, lift the chest, arms lift. Couple breaths here. We're going to move into a twist from here. So as you open your arms, you're going to twist to the left, keeping the hips low. And then inhale, arms up, and then exhale, twist to the right. So flowing with the breath. And two more breaths like that. And then back to center. You can remove the block if it's there. And we'll come up to standing, straighten the legs, a little back bend, and then hands to heart. And just allow the breath to smooth out here. Reconnect with the earth. Lift the toes, spread them wide, place them back down. Feel the arches lift, feel the crown lift. Couple more breaths. Okay, so now we're going to come back to that chair pose and then bring left arm under and right elbow on top, or right arm on top, so elbow to elbow. Either backs of the hands together or palms together. Lift the elbows, and then we're just going to stay here. We're not going to do the legs. We're just going to do the arms today. So just kind of spiraling the arms. Feel that opening between the shoulder blades as you drop down a little bit lower. Even breath. Maybe lift the elbows a little more. See if you can smooth out the transitions between inhale and exhale. One more breath here. And then we'll release the arms, come all the way up to standing again. Hands to heart. Smooth out the breath again. Come back to our chair pose. And then left on top. Lift the elbows, drop the hips. Feel that opening between the shoulder blades. Breathing into the back, the rib cage. Couple more breaths. And then release, come all the way up. And hands to heart. And then we'll step the feet wide. Again, if you have your block here, you can place it in front of you. So we're going to start with hands on the outer thighs. And as we fold forward, navel moves in, hinge at the hips, hands slide down the backs of the legs, just coming to wherever is comfortable. If you have a block, you might use it to rest your head on at whatever height feels appropriate. So just taking a few breaths here, feeling the strength in the legs, maybe spiraling the thighs toward each other, creating a little more stability there. If you have the block there, it's kind of nice to let it stimulate the third eye center if you can kind of arrange for it to be there. Just a couple more breaths here. Navel moving in with every exhale. And then we'll plant the hands and halfway lift. And then exhale, fold. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Last time. And now bring the hands flat on the floor and walk the feet in, coming into a squat. And from our squat, we can bring the hands out, palms up, and just let the head and neck and whole upper half of the torso release down toward the earth. And again, if you have your block, you might even choose to sit on your block for your squat. I find the block very helpful in a lot of ways, and it's fun to get creative with it. All right, so we'll release down to seated now and bring the legs wide. And get nice and tall, toes pointing up. We're going to turn the torso to face that left leg. And then your right arm or your left arm is going to wrap around the right side. Maybe comes to like mid back. Maybe it can come to the top of that thigh. Doesn't really matter. And then right hand is on the outside of that left thigh coming into a twist. So we're staying nice and tall, twisting from the navel. Slowly twisting from bottom up, looking over that left shoulder. Keeping the toes pointing up. Breath smooth, even. Maybe reminding yourself of your intention or your mantra at this point. Feeling the navel moving in with every exhale, maybe getting a little taller with every inhale. Two more breaths here. And we'll unwind. Come back to center and then turn toward the right leg. Again, right arm comes behind the back, or if it can come to the top of that thigh, that's an option too. Left hand up, outside of right leg, toes pointing up, twisting from the navel, and then moving upward with your twist, eventually looking over that right shoulder. Staying nice and tall, even breath. Allow the mind to still focusing on the mantra, the intention, or the breath. And a couple more breaths here. And then we'll slowly unwind. And then that right hand slides about halfway down the right leg, and then turn the torso so that it's turning toward the ceiling. And then slide that hand a little further down, as far as is comfortable. Maybe you can reach your foot, doesn't matter. Left arm comes up, keep spiraling the chest toward the ceiling, and then let that left hand travel across the ceiling, coming to wherever is comfortable. So your comfortable edge. And this right hand, you could even turn it so that the pinky is up and the thumb is down. So you're externally rotating that arm, and that left hand travels across. So keeping that left hip grounded as you're doing this. We're not trying to cause pain or strain, just finding that comfortable edge where you can still breathe, but getting a nice opening through the whole left side of the rib cage, maybe down into that left hip. Couple more breaths here, wherever you are. And then we'll slowly come back up. Just take a moment here to notice how that felt. And then left hand slides about halfway down that left leg, turning the torso up, maybe reaching that hand up. And then after the torso is turned upward, continue that left hand down to wherever is comfortable. Again, if you want, you can externally rotate. Finding that comfortable edge for you, and this side might feel really different from the other side. Just finding that spot where you can be, where you can breathe, or you're feeling an opening through the right side. Stay rooted and grounded into that right heel and right hip, right sit bone. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll slowly come back up. And then we'll bring our legs together, Dandasana. And right foot crosses over left leg. So planting that sole of that right foot on the outside of the left leg. Again, get nice and tall, nice and upright. And then this left arm wraps around the knee. Right hand comes behind you. Keeping the left foot active. So you're pressing into that left heel, and then slowly twist to the right, looking over right shoulder. Staying nice and tall, even breath. Feeling the navel move in with every exhale. It's helping the breath out. One more breath here. And then we'll come back to center. Mindfully switch sides, staying nice and tall. Left foot crosses over. Right arm wraps around that knee, twisting to the left, starting from the bottom up. Right foot is still active, pressing into that heel. Even breath here. Navel moving in with every exhale. Maybe feeling or envisioning that yellow energy at the solar plexus, that seat of will, creating resilience, flexibility in your physical body, in your emotional body, in your mental body. One more breath here. We'll unwind and come back to center. And then we're going to come onto the back, setting up for bridge pose. So walk the heels in. Flatten the lower back onto the earth. And we'll slowly roll up, peeling the tail up. We'll flow in and out a few times before we stay. So inhale and exhale. Exhaling, pressing into the feet, hips rise. Inhale, gently roll back down. Kind of massaging out the lower back as you do it. Okay, and now the next time we come up into that bridge, we'll stay there, feeling strength in the legs, press into the feet. You might want to tuck the shoulders under, interlace the fingers. Even breath. We're going to stay for about 10 breaths. 4 or 5 count inhale. 4 or 5 count exhale. Keep pressing into the feet. You might even relax the glutes slightly. See if that feels any better on the lower back. You can experiment with pressing the feet down and forward, or pressing the feet down and feeling like you're drawing the heels back toward the pelvis. Staying with that wheel of breath. About 5 more breaths here. Now, if your shoulders are tucked under, you can gently release them out to the sides, and we'll all just roll back down slowly. Bring the feet a little wider and let the knees fall together to touch. And bring your hands to that solar plexus area, kind of just between the heart and the navel. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat there. Maybe you can feel that radiance of your energetic center, the third chakra. Maybe envisioning that yellow ball of energy as though residing there in the center of your being, creating radiance outward, kind of like an inner sun. So just as the sun is shining on us through the sky, we have our own inner light that we can shine out to everyone and everything. Now give the knees a little hug. Massage out the back if you like. And then we'll bring the feet back down and cross the right ankle over the left knee. And just take a couple breaths here, drawing that right knee away from the head, kind of creating an opening in the right hip flexor. Activate that right foot so that the heel is kind of pressing outward, toes are pointing up. And then we'll reach behind that left leg and draw the legs into the chest, keeping the spine flat on the earth, coming to your comfortable edge here in this supine pigeon, half pigeon. Come back to that wheel of breath. 4 or 5 count inhale, 4 or 5 count exhale, with very smooth transitions between inhale and exhale. Couple more breaths. And then we'll gently release that left foot back down to the floor, uncross the leg. Bring the knees bring the feet a little wider and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then we'll set up to do the other side. So bringing the feet back in about hip width apart. Cross left over right. Again, drawing that knee away from the head first, flexing that foot. Couple breaths. And then reach behind the right leg and draw the legs in toward the chest, keeping the spine flat on the earth. And smooth wheel of breath here. Coming to your comfortable edge, drawing the knees in as far as you like to get a nice opening there without causing pain or strain. A place where you could stay for maybe a minute or so. Notice if the mind wanders and gently bring it back to your intention or your mantra or your breath. And a couple more breaths here. And gently release that right foot down and then uncross and the left foot down. Feet come a little wider and windshield wiper side to side. And give the knees a hug again. Bring hands to the feet, coming into happy baby. Soles of the feet face the ceiling, knees drawing down toward the armpits, keeping the spine flat on the earth. Maybe even kind of flattening the lower back a little more onto the earth. Or maybe making those subtle adjustments, flattening and rounding the lower back as you're in happy baby. You could even straighten the legs if you like, or you could rock side to side. Just a few more breaths wherever you are here. And then we'll extend the legs long, legs together. We'll bring the arms overhead, interlace your fingers, and turn the palms away from the head so that the palms are facing toward that short end of your mat side, and then press into the heels so that you're making yourself as long and strong as you can here. We'll inhale through the nose, exhale out the nose. At the end of the exhale, hold the breath out and draw the navel in and stretch as long as you can. Again, inhale, exhale. At the end of the exhale, hold the breath out, stretch. Feel the navel moving in toward the spine. And one more time like that. Inhale, exhale, stretch, hold the breath out. Navel moves in, holding that breath out. And then when the breath returns naturally, you can release that and find your way into a Shavasana. And if you like, for your Shavasana, you could put something under the knees, under the neck, under the head, whatever makes you feel the most grounded and allows yourself to release into the earth in your Shavasana. So get yourself comfortable in your Shavasana, cover up if you like, socks, blanket. And once you arrive in your most comfortable corpse pose, you can allow a nice long exhale out the mouth, signaling to the self that you are letting go of control of the breath. You are allowing yourself to be breathed in and out through no effort of your own. Then you feel a little weight off you as you no longer have to control that aspect of yourself. And you feel the weight of the body releasing into the earth. And you soften the toes. and the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet and the ankles. And you feel that deep release of letting go of any muscular effort in the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, the hips and pelvis, the buttocks, letting go of any muscular effort in the entire lower half of the body. And then softening the lower back and the belly. And feeling that deep release moving up through the little muscles of the rib cage, front, back, sides. Soften the upper chest and upper back. Release the armpits toward the floor, the shoulders. Feel the weight of the arms releasing into the earth, the hands, the fingers. Feeling that deep release moving up the back of the neck, the base of the throat. Unclench the teeth. Let the tongue flatten onto the bottom of the mouth. Softening the little muscles of the lips, the cheeks, the ears, the temples, the eyes, forehead and scalp. Feeling the entire physical body releasing into the earth, allowing gravity to pull you in, to hug you close. Resting here in relaxed awareness. Just allowing yourself to be. Allow yourself to feel the effects of your yoga practice on your physical body, on your breath, on your mental state, on your energetic state. Allow the mind to wander wherever it goes, just resting. And as you gently bring awareness back to the physical body, invite some slow movements back to the little joints first, the fingers, the toes, moving slowly to the larger joints and muscles, the ankles and wrists, the arms and legs. Maybe eventually stretching the whole body long, waking up the physical body. Give the knees a little hug. And we'll eventually make our way back, taking your time to a comfortable seat, setting up for our closing meditation practice. So if you're covered up, you can stay covered up. Find something comfortable to sit on. And when you arrive in your posture, align the head with the rest of the spine in a dignified posture. Let the shoulders drop. We're going to take a mudra for this practice, and this is Vajrapadama mudra, which is thunderbolt. So you're interlacing your fingers and bringing the hands face up. So kind of right here at the solar plexus area. And this is the inner confidence mudra. So as we practice our meditation, you can focus on feeling strong and solid. You could focus on that yellow ball of energy at the solar plexus, the third chakra. And we're going to bring in the seed syllable Ram on our inhale and hold and exhale. So the breath is going to be just an inhale, a hold after the inhale, and an exhale. So no hold after the exhale. So it's going to be we're going to start with a 3-count inhale, mentally repeating Ram, Ram, Ram. Hold the breath in for 3, mentally repeating Ram, Ram, Ram. And then exhaling for 3, Ram, Ram, Ram. So this is all just mentally repeating Ram. So we'll do that 3-count inhale, Ram, Ram, Ram. Hold, Ram, Ram, Ram. Exhale, Ram, Ram, Ram. And then we'll do 4-count inhale, Ram, 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 Ram. Hold for 4, repeating Ram. Exhale for 4, repeating Ram. And continue like that. Inhale 4, hold in for 4, exhale for 4. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4. Now, if you can lengthen it to 5, add another count to the inhale. Hold for that same amount. Exhale for that same amount. So we're doing an even count for inhale, hold, and exhale. Repeating Ram as many times as you like, as you inhale, as you hold, and as you exhale. And when you're repeating that Ram mantra coincides with our solar plexus chakra. It's that seat of will and power and energizing, and then holding the breath in also increases that energetic effect. So we're doing everything we can in addition to our physical practice now to create that inner energy, that inner heat, that stoking that inner fire, that inner sun, as you Ram, 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 Ram on the inhale, Ram, 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 Ram as you hold, and Ram, 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 Ram as you exhale, and holding that mudra at the same time. So a couple more rounds like this. So finish the one you're on and do one more. And when you've completed that one, you can release the mudra, hands to knees. Return to just even inhale and exhale. Just a comfortable, easy, even inhale and exhale. And just notice the effects of your practice on your physical body and your energetic state. on your mental state and your emotional state. Just feel yourself, feel the reverberation of all that work that you've done, that mantra. And I'm going to close with a poem. This is called The Sound of the Sun by George Bradley. So you might envision the sun shining down upon you. You might even open your eyes and see that light coming in through your window or feeling your inner sun. It makes one all right, though you hadn't thought of it. A sound like the sound of the sky on fire, like Armageddon whistling and crackling, the explosions of sunlight booming as the huge mass of gas rages into the emptiness around it. It isn't a sound you are often aware of. Though the light speeds to us in seconds, each dawn leaping easily across a chasm of space that swallows the sound of that sphere. But if you listen closely some morning, when the sun swells over the horizon and the world is still and still asleep, you might hear it. A faint noise so far inside your mind that it must come from somewhere. From light rushing to darkness, energy burning towards entropy, towards a peaceful solution, burning brilliantly, spontaneously, in the middle of nowhere. And you too must make a sound that is somewhat like it. Though that, of course, you have no way of hearing at all. So as we bring our practice to a close, we'll inhale, bring the arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. At the end of your exhale, hold your breath out for as long as is comfortable. When you can't hold it out any longer, return to normal breath. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a energizing, wonderful, bright, sunny day, and look for the northern lights tonight. Have a great day.
Thank you, Kate.